All right. How's it going, everybody? So, these are my final thoughts on Mario and Luigi's Superstar Saga for the Game Boy Advance. Okay, so basically, I just finished beating the game um, last night. Um, and I'm going to do a couple videos on the game itself. So, and I'll probably start doing this going forward with like all the games I play. 99% of the, well, 90, maybe 80% of the games that I play are RPGs. So, which is basically what I'm focusing my channel on now, not just Dragon Quest, but RPGs in general. So, fun stuff. So, but I beat this game, and it was so much fun. It took me, I think, about 15 to 17 hours to beat the whole story. I wasn't really rushing to beat the story, so I was kind of just taking my time, um, and exploring everywhere, playing every mini game. I know there's some things that I didn't do in a completionist standpoint. Like I know for a fact there's a couple of the chuckle beans that I didn't get, where when you hit like Luigi into the ground and he comes up, and those little X spots. I know for sure there's some that I missed. Um, and then I didn't get like all of the Professor Egat's like drink blends, where he gives you, I think there's a total of seven special, like items that he can give you. I think I have four or five, which they're basically really really helpful. Uh, the most OP one is the Great Force, like the Great Force one, where it like doubles your damage, but like doubles the damage that you also receive. So I actually started using that when I got it, and it was so ridiculously OP that I took it off. Because basically all the mods, like anytime I get into a fight, like, and I would jump on the enemy, I would literally just kill everything on the screen, and it just felt so cheap. So I was just kind of like, you know what? No, I want the game to be a little more challenging. So I decided to take it off. So yeah, so but basically, story wise, what a great story, and it's a great like amount. It's a great length of a game for a story. It's like, it starts off with Princess Peach's voice getting stolen by Cacletta and Fawful, which are excellent enemies, and like final boss like designs, like what a great duo of just mischievous, you know, bad guys sort of thing. Um, it's funny, I get it. Cacletta, she cackles all the time, uh, and then Fawful is just an awful, sort of enemy. They're such great like enemies, man. Like really, some like very memorable bad guys, and so I really really love them a lot. Um, and so yeah, it was a good time trying to, recover Princess Peach's voice, which eventually you find out, she didn't actually get her voice stolen. But it was cool also, which was kind of different as well during the story. Um, you actually fight Cacletta like in the middle of the game, a little bit, maybe a little bit after the middle, but like you fight her and you beat her, and it's like you're done basically, right? But then obviously there's more to it. So Fawful sucks her like soul up and happens to find a beat up Bowser, and merges the two to become Bowletta, which is all a great freaking situation on its own. But this story is so great. You know, the premise is simple, and the characters are fantastic. I love how they use Bowser in this game, where he's, at first, well, also his dialogue is just so funny. He doesn't want to steal Princess Peach because her speech will destroy his castle. So he wants you, Mario and Luigi, to recover her voice, save the day, and then steal her. So it's funny, and then it's funny because he's like helping you in the beginning, but then he gets amnesia and you know becomes bad, but doesn't know why he hates you. Even though it's funny when he sees you again, he's like, I don't, for some reason, I don't like these guys or something like that. When he is with that one robber guy, I forgot his name. And then eventually he gets his memory back, but by that time it was too late, and he gets beat up either way. And as we know, eventually, like I already kind of mentioned in the video, um, you know, Fawful kind of merges Cackletta and Bowser to become the ultimate final boss in the game, Bowletta. But yeah, in terms of, again, the story it's solid. It's such a solid story. It's so fun. The game is colorful. The graphics are gorgeous. Obviously, I played this game on the Nintendo Switch on that one service for the GBA service or whatever. And I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was a fantastic time. In terms of the story, again, great freaking story. At the end, when Bowletta, becomes Bowletta, she just basically forgets about the Beanstar overall because she's so powerful now that she just takes over Bowser's castle and decides to destroy everything. And so now you have to go to Bowser's castle and take her out, And it was really fun to go into Bowser's castle and fight all the Koopalings as the final bosses, kind of like an Elite Four sort of thing from Pokemon games. You fight all the Koopalings, and eventually you fight Fawful, and then Bowletta. So kind of interesting, Fawful. So all the Koopalings were pretty easy for me. I think I was a little over leveled, honestly, but all the Koopalings were kind of easy. But Fawful was actually really tough for me. I had to redo his fight like 3 times. And then after that, Bowletta was even tougher. But the cool thing is, like, even with like her second phase, once I kept fighting her, I started noticing more of like the patterns she would actually show for each attack, and I started to get better at fighting her. It goes back to when my initial video on this one was the one that I named like this game is so good or whatever, and I actually mentioned this, but the game somewhat reminds me of Dark Souls, not in the sense of gameplay nor of like graphics or anything like that, but in the sense of like needing to learn like the patterns of your enemies to be able to defeat them or survive better, if that makes sense. Like, this game, obviously, like, the higher level you are, the stronger you are, obviously helps you a ton, but what really helps you is understanding your enemy, which I love that concept. It's basically like in its own difficulty spike, where it makes you, the player, feel more like you've actually progressed in a way, because like you get to the point where you understand all the enemies you fight. Once you fight them again, it's just easier to fight them, and you feel a sense of progression in that sense. So I really, really like that aspect of this kind of like game style, and I love that Mario and Luigi's this game does that. And they do it really well. Like I said, the last couple fights were like a little. It was like a higher difficulty spike. But again, I mean, it's the final boss. Like, it has to be tough, and it has to be tougher. And I mean, although technically Cackleta's second phase is a little cheap because you start the fight with just 1 HP. So that part kind of like is like more difficult for no reason, sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that bad. Like, we just ate an ultra nut and we were back on top, sort of thing. So yeah, I mean, I'm cool with it. At the end of the day, it wasn't a huge problem for me. So yeah, and then after that, after you beat Cackleta, the credits roll and all that stuff, and it was fantastic seeing everything and all the characters again and all the happy moments of Bean and a Mushroom Kingdom back to normal. Yeah, and then overall I freaking love this game. This was such an amazing game. It was such a fun experience. Again, it was a shorter experience, which is perfect for me because of how limited my time is. And yeah, the music was great. The gameplay was fantastic. I kind of talked about the gameplay at length in my last video on this game. But yeah, I absolutely love the gameplay, and I also talked about it in this one as well, obviously. One thing I didn't really take too much advantage of was like the bros moves. Because once you use the bros attacks enough, you advance, like you get like the advanced version of it. But I actually didn't even know how to do it until the last fights. And that's what really helped me with Cackleta. Because I didn't even realize how to actually activate the advanced move, like the advanced bros moves. So that was on me. I thought like once the move became advanced, it was like it dealt more damage, but I didn't realize until I like accidentally added, like I pressed another button during a normal attack phase that it added another step, and I was like, wait, what? And then I figured out like I was doing it wrong the whole time, basically. Where I didn't understand that I had to do more inputs to actually do the advanced variation of the bros attack. So so maybe they explained it during the story at some point, but I just didn't realize how to activate it, or maybe I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I totally skipped over like the advanced moves until like the last boss fights. Like I think Fawful, the last boss fight against Fawful was when I actually learned about it. So kind of interesting there. And again, that was really useful for Cackleta. But yeah, so overall, absolutely love this game. The music's fantastic. The gameplay's fun. The battling is so much fun. Addicting, even. The humor, bro. The humor in this game just put a smile on my face the whole time. I freaking love how hilarious Luigi is in this game. Like, he made me laugh so much in this game. It's kind of sad too, because like a lot of the time he would get made fun of so much, or like they would like call him Green Mario, or like his whatever his name is, sort of thing. Like they would like treat Luigi so bad in this game, and it was so freaking hilarious. It was such a fun game. I really like loved it. I loved it so much that I actually bought the remake of it for the 3DS, and I'm actually already playing it. So I'm already replaying this game, the remake of it, which I'm really like. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Like, it was funny because like before my initial idea was to beat this game and then move on to either like Paper Mario or Chrono Trigger, because they're two games that I started in this period that I've been playing this game. And I was like, no, I'm going to beat those games first, and then I'll play the remake of this game. But I couldn't take it. I was like, dude, no, I just want to play the remake. I want to see what it's like. And I started it, and I am addicted to it again. So yeah, I'll be talking about the remake as well in a future video. But one of my next videos is going to be the tier list for like the boss fights in this game. So look forward to that. But that's basically it for this video. Those are my final thoughts. Absolutely enjoyed this game. Loved it so much. It was a good time. I'm excited again to beat the remake of it and then talk about that as well. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Have you played this game? If you haven't, I totally recommend doing it. I will say the 3DS version is already a huge improvement from what I can tell. But this version, the GBA version, is more than good enough. So if you have Nintendo Switch Online, it's probably the easiest way to get this game to be able to play it. So I totally recommend you giving it a shot. But yeah, definitely give it a shot. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.